What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation back again with another video, and I'm a little nervous because we are in my brand new 2025 Porsche 911 GTS, and this is going to be our first drive. If you missed the taking delivery video, I'll put a link in the description, make it easy to find. But now this is going to be our first drive in the vehicle leaving from Porsche Columbus. So I got a couple different views. I'm going to give you my first impressions. I have not driven the car an inch. This is going to be the first time I'm driving it. Now, I'm coming from a Carrera T, and I'm a 2024 Carrera T and a 2022 Porsche 911 GT3. So that's what I'll probably be comparing the drive to. Now, it has a break-in period, so I'm not going to be driving super crazy. At least I don't think I am. But let's go ahead and give it a cold start. Wow. Alright, first impression. First impression was it started up fast. I pushed the button and it was like bingo. Let me get my seat together a little bit. Alright, so let's take this thing for a drive, and I'll give you my impressions of how it feels. Got your seatbelt? Seatbelt? Alright.
Yes.
Alright. So I'm gonna turn this air up. You want me to leave the AC on?
I'm okay.
I'll leave the AC on. Alright, so supposedly this car has more torque. So we'll see how the torque feels. What's also different is the Alcantara steering wheel. I don't have Alcantara on the steering wheel, but in the forums, in the Renlist forums, shout out to the guys on Renlist, somebody said that the steering wheel feels thin, and actually I got that same sensation that the steering wheel does feel like thinner than normal. But I imagine it's the same. I imagine it's the same as my Carrera T. Alright, so we're gonna see what it really feels like here in a second. Shout out to Justin and Rachel, my sales folks. Alright, so it's a little quieter than my Carrera. Let's see.
Justin Paskey, Porsche Columbus sent 3 photos.
Okay.
Said, thanks again, Will. Please let me know if you need anything at all. Would you like to reply?
No.
Okay.
I'll reply later. Shout out to Justin, that's my salesperson checking in on me. As I said, we just got this car and we are just pulling off the lot. So we're gonna take it for a quick ride. We have a road trip scheduled to Florida to break the car in. But for now, we're gonna go and get a late lunch for us. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're gonna go get lunch, early dinner, late lunch. She's like, whatever.
I'm hungry.
But this is gonna be our chance to see how the car drives, because from
Be careful.
this is a nice way to leave the car lot. Oh man, you got loose that easy. Maybe that's the tire shine on here. Maybe that's the tire shine. That was fun.
No.
That was fun.
Not really.
So we got 20 miles on the clock. We got 20 miles on the car, and that was fun.
Not really.
That was fun. We gotta do that again.
No.
Okay, let's go. Oh. Yeah, it's getting loose already. Okay, so we roll the windows up. Let me turn the AC back on. Alright, so it's quieter. It's quieter than I thought, because a lot of people were saying that it's loud on the inside. I know it's quiet on the outside, but on the inside, in a lot of the reviews, it was louder. Okay, but I have it in normal mode. Let's turn it in sport mode. See if we can hear anything. Okay, you can hear it, but it's not overly loud. It's just enough, I guess, to hear it. I'll leave it in sport mode so we can enjoy how it sounds. Let me see how I'm hoping I can get on the freeway up here. Yeah, this is gonna have to do the trick. Now I do hear a couple of rattles, but I don't know if that's the seatbelt or the camera. I think it might be the camera that I have up here. Might be the camera rattling. But some people in the forums were saying that there were some rattles in the car. Or actually that was another review, in-car review from the Topher. But yeah, I did hear something rattling. We'll have to listen to that. I did get the upgraded stereo system. So there's like, in a Porsche, there's 2 upgrades. You can get a Bose system. Everybody says that the factory radio sucks. So if you're buying a Porsche secondhand, make sure you get the upgraded stereo. So my last Carrera T, I got the Bose system, and it was actually decent stereo. It was decent in the Bose. This one though has the super top of the line Burmeister system in it. So it's supposed to be even better. So should we try it out?
Girls call me papi, papita chulo. Mami dame lulo, dulce con fruto, I'm cool though. Y'all got me mixed up, fixed up, don't slip up, this beat's a stick up.
It sounds better than the Bose, but I'm not sure if it's any louder. I don't want to like super blast it. Let's see. Okay, so you do feel the torque. I'm driving in sport mode, but it's not loud at all. It's pretty quiet. I'm hoping in some scenario it'll be louder than what I'm noticing right now. I need to get some driving gloves for these for this Alcantara. But this is the only car that I have right now that has Alcantara. It feels a little tail happy. I have the traction control on. I'm driving in sport mode and I'm trying not to pass 4,000 RPM. I'm trying to do a correct break-in, even though I'm one of those people that it's a little tail happy. And yeah, it's definitely torquier, has more torque. I don't know if torquier is a word. It has more torque than my Carrera T 992.1. So we're gonna do some merging onto the freeway here in a second. But as you can notice, like, I'm not just saying it's quieter. You don't hear a whole lot. It's not that loud. So let's see. Let's see here. Well, you can hear it, but it's not very loud. Okay, I know what it is. I know why it's not loud. I just passed 4,000 RPM right there. Porsche, don't sue me. And as soon as I passed 4,000, that's when it got louder. So I guess under 4,000 RPM, the car is just not going to be that loud. So for those of you guys in the Rentless forums that were saying the car's overly quiet, it's because you're probably being real pussyfoot on the accelerator, and you're staying under the 4,000 for the break-in. I respect that, but me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna pass 4,000 a few times. And I just noticed when I passed 4,000, it started to get louder. I'll do it again. Let's see. It gets louder. You pass 4,000, it gets louder. All right, that's satisfying. That's satisfying. It has a pleasant sound to it, though. Okay, so these are my impressions. My other impression, I don't know why, but it feels bigger. It feels bigger than my Carrera T. I don't know why. Something about, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my seating position. feels bigger. Like, so my co-pilot said that it feels bigger to her too. I don't know what it is. I think it's the height of the dashboard or something. I don't know. Okay, I see some people pulling up on me. I guess they're admiring the car. So let me see if they'll let me over. Yeah, they're gonna let me over. Let's go. Oh, I am hearing that little turbo release noise. It's almost like a blow-off valve, a quiet blow-off whistle. When the turbos go up and then you let out. Let me see. You hear that? You hear that? Okay, so there's a little turbo sound on the stock exhaust. Again, I have it in sport mode, so the exhaust valves are open. Oh, that's pretty sweet. This is pretty dope. The display. Let me show you the display. That's dope. That's pretty dope. I'm gonna change it. That's pretty dope. So I gotta make some adjustments here. But that's nice. Okay, so another thing I noticed, the torque is definitely on demand. Another thing I noticed, I was fooling around with the screen, and the screen arrangement is different. The miles to empty is always on the screen. I didn't realize that. I was trying to set it up like I had in my Carrera T. But with the torque that this car has, you got to be more careful going in and out of turns, because it's definitely more tail happy than my other two cars. But you know, the sound when you get on it, the sound is very similar. Yeah, that torque is definitely a thing. But the sound is similar to between second and third gear. Caught me by surprise just now. Yeah, the torque is a thing. Oh wow, the start-stop kicked in pretty aggressive just now. I thought I turned that off in sport mode. Wow. Okay, here's what I was getting ready to say. With the torque being as strong as it is in low RPMs, it gives the sensation that the car is not pulling as hard in the upper RPMs as my Carrera T. But I had GTS turbos in my Carrera T, the old GTS turbos. At the higher end, that car pulls, it felt like it pulled harder than this car in higher RPM. But in everything like below 5,000 RPM, this car is a night and day difference. It feels very eager, like with the power. That start-stop is aggressive, man. I gotta adjust that. Let me see how to turn that off. Show you guys what I see here from the driver's. Man, it's so torquey. It's almost like neck snapping. Yeah, it's super torquey. So for those of you guys that were worried about it, like the shifts being boring or like soulless, I disagree with that in Sport Plus mode. Now see on the digital dash, there's your miles till empty right there. I was looking for it over here on the right, but it's always there apparently. The other thing you can do with this digital dash, let me highlight the middle. You can change things in the middle. That's dope. There it is right there. That's pretty sweet. Let me turn it back to this one. That's the one I like right there. That was pretty dope. I know that's an irritating sound, but it warned me not to go further with the front camera. That's pretty sweet. I just stopped the car with the button, and I don't know, the button doesn't bother me. A lot of people are saying they rather have the turnkey thing on here, the typical Porsche turnkey. The button doesn't bother me at all, though. All right, let's see how the car's doing. No. Let's just see how it's doing. There it is, our first stop, first drive, first stop. That tire shine didn't hold up too good. I'm impressed. It drives good. It feels bigger. I don't know what it is. It's something about the dashboard. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a seating position or the dashboard or what. The car feels bigger than my 992.1 Carrera T. Weird. But yeah, I think most of the power is in the low end. That's the big takeaway. Whereas the old GTS setup, I had the GTS turbos in my Carrera T. The power's in the high end, like 6,000 RPMs to 8,000. It's a good look right there. It just needs to be lowered. That's really it. I'm not gonna do too many modifications to the car. I'm just gonna put coilovers on it. And I got the side marker. Change that side marker out. Ooh, vlog. Oh man, I'm full already.
Came from the bottom, now we pull up in Lamborghinis. Now the YouTube popping gave the people motivation. Told them chase some goals, don't be stuck up in complacence. Showing haters how to go from broke to amazing. Just redirect that hate into the challenge that you face. And stop playing Lambo doors, lift like limits we break. And turn the key, hear the roar, that's the sound that we make.
Gotta celebrate Waffle House. I don't eat that more than once every 3 months, so I think I'll be alright. We're about to actually go work out after this too, so let's see if the automatic doors open up. I gotta turn that feature on. Yeah, I gotta turn that feature on. Alright, one more beauty shot before we get back on the road. How do you guys like these wheels? These are the 992.1 wheels on the 992.2. Definitely needs to be lower, but one interesting thing about putting these 992.1 wheels on here, the offset makes them flush. Look at that. Actually, the tire's sticking out a little bit. They have a different offset than the 992.2. That's interesting. So it ends up being a real nice fitment in the front, in the rear, but in the front, it doesn't come out. So that's cool though. After I lower it, it'll look better. You won't be able to see the top of the tire. That also kind of has an effect, but yeah, stay tuned for that. I apologize for everybody that's getting on me. I know somebody in the comments is gonna say something about the Waffle House. Yeah, it zips up to 4,000 RPMs. And if it sounds like I'm going above, if it sounds like I'm going above 4,000, that's in your imagination. I would never do such a thing during the break-in period. This normal mode is actually kind of like sport mode in the regular GTS. Normal mode is like sport mode in the 992.1. Let me put it like that. Again, for those of you guys that don't know, I had a 992.1 Carrera T, but I upgraded it to the GTS turbos and tuned it with M Engineering. And in the high RPMs, that car pulled harder than this, at least what this feels like. But I'm still breaking it in, so I only really know up to 4,000 RPMs. Before anybody tries to say that they heard me going higher than that, that was in your imagination. Tunnel.
Yes.
Okay, so it definitely pulls. The torque is definitely like a big difference. The torque in this car compared to the 992.1, it's a big difference. Sport Plus, when you're on the freeway, it's not that eager to downshift. It's not that eager, but when you're in the city in lower gears, it feels a little more eager to downshift. almost at half throttle, and it didn't downshift to Sport Plus mode, which is not what I'm used to. It. Let me see. Okay, that's about half. Let me see. Okay, yeah. The other thing I noticed that once the exhaust like opens up, it sounds very similar to the 992.1 when the exhaust opens all the way up and you get higher in the RPMs. It sounds very similar to my 992.1. So honestly, there's not a big, I'll let you guys hear it a little bit. It sounds very similar. Like if you weren't super familiar with both, you would say it sounds the same. Just under 4,000 RPMs, it has a slightly lower tone or growl to it. But then once it gets higher in the RPMs, it sounds like a 992.1 in my opinion.
El otro se siente que se va más.
¿Cuál otro?
El azul. Sí.
El exhaust es mejor.
Se siente como.
Eso fue diferente. Eso fue diferente esa vez. Se sentía más potente. What? I might have to take back what I said about the car not pulling harder than the 992.1. I don't know what happened, but I might have to take that back. Yeah, I think I know what the difference is. It depends on what gear it drops down into. Simple as that. I think jury is still out on what I said about the higher RPMs and stuff. Let's break the car in properly, and then let's come back. Let's put a footnote, and then we'll come back to that, because it felt like it was pulling pretty hard there. It was like pulling hard enough to make you car sick. Woo. Okay, so it's the next day. I wanted to continue my first drive impressions after like putting a little bit of miles on it. I have maybe 80 miles on the car so far. Yeah, probably about 80 miles on the car. I'm getting ready to put another
At the roundabout, take the first exit on Slate
another
Gray
80 miles on the car now. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah, true to Porsche and true to 911. The car handles great. Okay, sorry, got a little interruption there. I got a closing on a property that I'm getting ready to sell. But back to first drive impressions. Another thing I noticed, other than the car being pretty quiet unless you're driving it hard, is the pedal feel. The throttle is pretty heavy. So like sometimes these little things like the driver inputs will give you the sensation that the car is lighter or heavier than it actually is. So while this car is like about 100 pounds more than the GTS 992.1, depending on how they set up the throttle feel, the brake feel, and the steering feel, you may or may not notice that. But I did notice in this car, it feels like, it could be exactly the same, but I'm just giving you guys my impressions. It feels like the throttle sensitivity and throttle feel is heavier. Like you got to push down harder to make the car go. So take that with a grain of salt. It could be in my head, but that's how it feels to me. Like, to drive this car hard, you got to really drive it hard with your driver inputs and everything. So I did get the electronic steering. It's not light, like compared to like some other cars. Like I have a Lamborghini Huracan. You put that in street or strata mode, and the steering is really, really light. Even in my Revuelto, it's a V12 heavy car. The steering is lighter in my Revuelto than this car is steering feel. So I guess it's a 911 thing. But overall, car feels good. Car's driving great. There's no errors on the dash. I did have one hiccup yesterday, but when I turned the car off, turned it back on, that little error message went away for track. I think it was related to this traction control or stability control of the car. It kicked on, and then I guess the traction control kicked on, and the error message went up, and then, like I said, when I turned the car off, turned it back on, it was gone. So other than that, the car's been flawless. Feels really good, and I'm looking forward to doing an official review of the car, and after I get to know the car a little bit better, and give you guys my honest opinion and review of this car. So far so good. And for those of you guys out there on like the forums, Ren's List, wait for your car, this one's for you.
It's the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm here to tell you guys to go to Wheel Motivation. The exotic cars is crazy. I've been watching this show for a little while now, and it's growing. But we need everybody else to subscribe to Wheel Motivation and support Wheel. I'm supporting them. You do the same.
Welcome to Will Motivation. Will Motivation, leave out all the hating. This is Motivation Nation, where we have fun and make moves, so stop waiting.